So I'm an artist that is a budding artist, an emerging artist. I like to call myself a new old artist. I've been an artist my whole life. I've done art for many years. And now here I am wanting to sell my art and bring it to you guys and do the art thing. What am I going to sell? Of course, all of us, and I've talked to some of you guys out there, and you've told me, and I've done my research, and you should, some say, have one type of art in here so people know who you are. I don't know who I am. I'm all over the place, and I know we're all over the place, right? So everybody has art that goes from here to here. But what is going to sell? What do you guys, what's going to move? So when I did my budding artist event, which was a lot of fun at the Loop, it was cool because I had all this art there on one table. And my husband was pretty cool because he's very savvy. So halfway through, he's like, let's mix the art up and see. And so we grabbed some other art and put it out there, and everybody liked everything. So that didn't help. Cause I would like for some people to say, okay, we don't like this, but we like that. Then I would know to fill my whole tent full of that instead of this. But everybody likes everything. So I now know not what to sell. Oh yeah. My husband's so cute. At Del Mar Loop, they've always have for a couple of years now. They've been having this mural festival. Well, they did the Budding Artist Festival for the first time this year, and I got to put my tent there. And here I am, the little Generation Xer, coming along. So you guys, all you guys out there got to cheer me on, and I'm doing my thing and I'm enjoying it and stuff. And then those awesome people from Artisans on the Loop came up to me and were like standing there staring at me. And I was talking to customers and they're staring at me and they have something in their hand and they walk up to me and they're like, we would like to present you with, you won. You have an awesome, this contest was, or this festival is completely for somebody like you. We love your table. We love everything you've done. And they were just so kind and so complimentary. And I've had art in her art gallery. And they're wonderful people. And so I won, which I was like, what does that mean? I don't know. I knew it does. I won. And then there was like a win, a certificate, a bragging rights, and there was like a little cash prize, which I was like, oh, well, that's kind of neat. So today was a good day. Okay. So anyway, that was the budding artist thing. So at the budding artist thing, I thought, okay, this is where you learn who you are and what you like. And I put everything out there to see what people liked. And I was actually kind of hoping people would ignore this stuff, but say this stuff's great, or say this stuff's not great and we like this stuff, or like these guys, and be like, everything else is not good. And there were people who liked everything, which is wonderful. It's not a bad problem to have. I did greeting cards. So people were buying the greeting cards up like crazy because they're $5 a piece. And if you want a piece of art that you can actually frame, they're 5x7s and they're blank inside. And it's like by an actual artist. Here they are. I mean, you go to Target or anywhere. Not to go off on Target, but okay, maybe I should Target, Walmart, Schnucks, Dearbergs. I can say them all or just say none of them. But when you buy greeting cards, that's how much you pay for a greeting card that's been mass produced. Why not get one by a local artist? So I did those and people ate them up. $5 a piece. I get something from an art festival. It's cool. So I'm doing them again. Okay. Rewind, go backwards. What am I doing? Okay. Greeting cards. Okay. No. So here I am. I'm an expressionist artist. I've always loved expressionists. I love Van Gogh. I know everybody loves Van Gogh. You always have everybody with the Van Gogh posters and stuff. But I really like Van Gogh. I love his story, which I could do an entire session to you on how cool Van Gogh is, because there's so much about Van Gogh that you probably don't even know. But I love expressionism. I love naive art. That's actually a thing. I love just that kind of stuff. So expressionist art, and that would be where you're seeing birds. And in my life, I had a parrot named Soapy, and he ended up finally passing away, but he'd been passed through a whole bunch of different family members, and I was the last one he had, and he was like probably over 100 years old, and I am not joking. Like, I thought he was in his 70s, and then when he finally passed away, I had an aunt that said he was over 100. So I'm like, whoa, Amazon parrot, yeah. So anyway, I grew up, and I always had Soapy. It was like Uncle Soapy, right? So I had this bird in my life, my whole life. Then I got older, and I got chickens, which are cool. They're just backyard chickens, 2 of them. And they were wonderful. Well, you guys should get chickens. Chickens are great. Okay. I'm getting off thing. So I like birds. Does that make sense? And for some reason to me, birds and horses and dogs, and I can tell you my connection to each one, and floral stuff, flowers and things like that speaks to me. And I know it speaks to everybody, but it speaks to me. Whimsy, I love. So anyway, expressionist. So I love doing birds. They just come out of me. Some of you artists out there, you doing human portraits come out of you. That is not. It's birds. And so I'm loving doing these birds. So here I am, expressionist, showing you my expression. This is actually a canvas. She's been sold. Her name's Lady Hawk, and we can do a whole nother story on Lady Hawk. I'll tell you about Lady Hawk in another episode, or whatever we want to like to call these, but she has a huge story behind her and the love for her. And she actually original is only about this big. And when you look at her, she's watercolor and, watercolor, a little bit of ink and gouache kind of paints, but I probably just said that wrong. Gouache? Gouache? I'll have to really look that up. You think I should know how to say that. So anyway, then I've got all these guys. This guy, I just love him. We have tons of owls in our backyard. So I have this. This is me. But then I have a whole nother me. A whole nother me is right here. So these are oil pastels that I've scratched into. They're on paper, and I've scratched into them and done, this is me. This is me, but this is me. And I've etched into them, and I know so many different names today for what doodling is. And people have monetized doodling and made big money out of calling it neurological, blah, 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 whatever. It's doodling. But is it doodling? It's art. Whatever it is, it's art. And we know it's art. And you can go all the way back to cave times. You could say they doodled on the walls, they etched on the walls, or you could go from Australia to Europe to America to all the different cultures. And a lot of those etchings and stuff, that's what they look like. And I love them. I love doing them. They make me feel good. I can go on and on and on. And people love these. So at the Budding Artist thing, people were like, these are so cool. And they reminded everybody of when we were younger, Generation X people, and even probably kids now, you had those things that you pulled up and you would etch into them, and they had the highlighting neon stuff. It kind of gave people that, feeling. I should do these classes on this because it did feel good to do them. Very messy.
You talk about Etch-a-Sketch.
It's not Etch-a-Sketch. It's like this black thing that it has a whole bunch of colors underneath. Okay, a board with a whole bunch of colors underneath. Yeah, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And then they put this blackness over the top of it. And then you go etch into it, and those colors pop up from underneath. I forgot what the term of it is, magic something or something like that. Well, anyway, that was not my inspiration. I just love oil pastels, and I love line design, doodling. And I'm like, ooh, what would happen if I scratched into here? So I actually have a little butter knife that comes from itty bitty baby butter knife that is silver, and it comes from a set that we had a long time ago, probably from grandma or great grandma or something. So a lot of these are etched with my little butter knife. Yes, paper clips, little razor things, my fingernails, wood sticks. I'm sure there's other things. Oh, a comb. This guy's got a comb in it. Anyway, so this is me. Woo! I get this walk from my son. He used to do this, like he sneaks up on you. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So my husband says he really likes this one, and he really likes this one. And he says if nobody buys these, he's going to put them in his office. So somebody buy them. I don't know. I don't even see him in his office. I love them, but or maybe it would be cool to be in his office. I don't know. Anyway, oh, my dog. That's my Archie. Come here, Archie. Boo, 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 Archie. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah. Okay. So this is my Archie, and he just walked away. Then I have these, which are, everybody's getting into these acrylic paint pens. So these were a lot of fun. I don't know. Can you see me all the way this way? Can you see me? So these were really, really fun to do. And I just kept going. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a horse in there. So this one's a horse, this one's a horse, and this one's a horse. Horse, of course, a little bitty horse, of course. So this horse is probably my favorite. Greg, didn't you say you like this one the most? This is the Party Like It's 1988, or was that what? And this was summer of 1969. And then what was this one? Summer of 1960s and 70s and 80s. 70s and 80s because of the color scheme. Anyway, those were a lot of fun. And then you move on to these, like I said. And then, are we coming this way? Are we coming this way? You see me. Here's our tent. So I got to have prints, right? And I don't know, you art people can tell me, did I buy too many prints? This one's a really nice print. I sold a couple of these last time. They're nice. This is Biscuit. That's my Boston Terrier. He's the best bad dog in the world. This one's of Max. This is the best dog in the world. Max passed away several years ago. A long time ago. He's the dog that I tell all dogs about. You all have that kind of dog, don't you? You all have that dog that you tell everybody about. This is Maxer. He was kind of like that. In the horse world, we have a heart horse. This is probably my heart dog. So anyway, I got prints of everything. So back to the art. Back to what I was talking about. Okay, so I have Expressionist. Well, now you see me moving into this line design contemporary. Boom, we end up over here. I'm still doing etchings in oil pastel, which I was doing over here. But these are etchings of, and I don't know if you can tell if the camera's picking this up, these are owls. And they're just fun to do, I love to do. I was trying to say earlier, but I think I interrupted myself, that when you etch oil pastel, you do it in a room that nobody in the house is going to be mad that you get little oil pastel stuff all over the place, because it goes into the floor and the carpet and your feet, and you trek it around or traps it around, or none of those words are probably the right words. I've literally gone to bed with feet that are multiple colors because I get little pieces of these oil pastels all over the place. So it's fun to do, but very messy. Okay, boom. Go back. Now, these are my guys. Love these guys. I have grown up with horses when I was very little. My whole family from both sides were involved with horses in different ways. Again, I will talk about that in another episode, or whatever we're going to call these, Greg. What should we call these? I don't know. I will talk about that, but my connection with horses, just like I said. Bogey? No Bogey? Should be there, so I might take him out.